Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Samurai Force summer figure from Rave Toys. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks incredible and is very much in keeping with what we saw from spring and autumn from the same line. Just even more so here because this is a lighter color than either of those two figures, and that allows, or not allows, well, it does allow for seeing a little bit more of the detail, but also means that they kind of need to put a little more in, and yeah, you get that in the terms of the washes everywhere. Like, you know, obviously there's a lot of sculpt head to toe, just as it was with the other two. And for that, they have basically put a wash over everything. You can see the skin, we get kind of this like mid-brown kind of rust color. You get that in the front of the shell as well. All of the armaments and, you know, all of this has kind of a dark, a little bit of black or gray wash. The gloves have the kind of white wash over them. Just some really good stuff to bring out all those details, give it a little bit of aging, and details all around. Again, I love these kind of new looks for the turtles that are not the turtles. And yeah, just so much good stuff. And they really put a lot of detail into summer here in particular. We can see all this kind of rope work here on the back, the shell, again, same awesome design. And then we get these 4 holsters for the nunchucks naturally, which we'll get into in the next section. We got extra ports here. Again, more on that later. And then this is the default head sculpt. I actually love this. Just the kind of way they have the top knot coming into the mask, and then the mask itself kind of being a lower face mask with this kind of armored plate at the top. Just looks really badass. I just love everything about that. And yeah, just overall, just such a cool looking figure and a great design in general. The amount of accessories here is absolutely overwhelming. And you know, this is not all of it. We're actually gonna get to that at the end of this section, but let's start off with hands. And we do get a pair of grips. This time they're open. They're not the closed grips that we got with the other two, which I definitely see as an improvement. Then we get a couple of splayed out hands. And finally, a pair of kind of posed up, kind of like grasping hands. And again, these are all things that we saw with the other turtles. Just a little bit more detail here because of the lighter color, which is kind of nice. Then we get 2 head sculpts, at least at first. So we get this one with the full face plate, which again, I love. Then we get another one that removes that piece. It's just kind of a nose plate here with the same mask. So excellent look overall. We do get a piece that I forgot to put back on, but still helps with aesthetics. It's just this piece, this kind of collar piece with this armor here at the top. There's a couple of pegs here, and those plug in to the couple of ports we have at the top of the straps for the harness. Then we get into all the weapons, and there's a lot, starting with this kind of centerpiece of a kind of a reel. So we got some rope here, nice, beautifully painted kind of wood frame. I got all these metal mechanics and gears. These do move here on the sides. They don't activate anything, but you can see 2 pegs. And those go into the 2 pegs on the back of the figure that we saw earlier. And from there, we have various implements. I'm assuming that these pieces of rope do tie into that. So we can see there's some ports there. Then we have a port here, a plug here. So those can go with the various things we've got going on here, including a couple of wrist kind of bows, crossbows, which also have plugs here on the end. Yeah, there's just really a lot going on. And that leads us to these couple of different kind of spear tips. So we've got these, which are more of a triangular shape. And we have a couple that are straight up grappling hooks. And those also work with, so I'm kind of getting lost in the sauce here. It's like so much going on. We do get this piece of string, long gray string with a kind of cap here for various pieces. I mean, again, this kind of, that's actually too big for that. Actually, you know what? That works with what I'm getting into. So that is the nunchucks. And this is obviously the nod to Michelangelo, and you know, get really nice sculpt, and again, that dark wash comes back here on the wood handles. We get a real metal chain, And these do remove from there. And you can see those caps just like we saw on the string. So that will help with attaching to various things. And brings us to the second part of the accessories, which I'm just gonna keep in the tray. This is the gift set. And so as you can see, we do have a third head here, which is more directly Michelangelo. It's big shit-eating grin. Beautifully painted too. I really like that they did the red in between the teeth. Just gives it this really almost maniacal look. Beautiful. Then we get, oh, the thing I didn't actually look at of the basic accessories is we do get a effect piece of a twirling nunchuck. We get a second one here. We get a skateboard with 3 ports there, and some wording going on here. The skateboarding boy. Can kind of parse confusingly. Then we come down and we get a Walkman here. So we got the headset, we got a string, goes into the actual Walkman itself. We get a canister here, which is for spray paint. We get yellow, green, and blue for that. Beautifully done. The nice translucency. We get a couple of clips for holding pieces. We get a couple of jetpack pieces, which is completely random and awesome. You can see that nice metal look to it, the dry brush with the silver, really, really nice looking. And then finally a couple of flames to work with those pieces. So just insane amounts of accessories. And that will do it for accessories. Articulation balance here are absolutely beautiful, and this is another point where Rage/Rave Toys really steps up their game. A lot of improvements, and freestanding kicks, we've gotten those with the other ones, which is awesome because we got these nice wide feet. But for everything else, there is same barbell joint from the body into the head, so we can look up that far, down that far, get a little bit of tilt, some rotation. Arms are hinge and swivel, come up not to a perfect T, but close. We do get a bicep swivel this time, which is definitely new. We get double jointed elbows, which is also new. Then we get the same barbell joint from the forearm into the hand, so you can go anywhere you want with that. We get the same barbell here at the mid-torso. So not a ton of play, I mean, not a ton of room there, but we do get our rotation from that. And all right, we're gonna talk about this. The legs are kind of the problem point here. They are more articulated, but they do pop apart very easily, or at least mine does. So first off, we do have drop-down joints, which is new. Again, so you get about that far down, really gotta push, go that far up. You can see we do have a thigh cut there. The right one on mine is completely frozen, but left one definitely moves. We get double jointed knees, bring us all the way up. Beautiful. Once again, we do get a swivel here at the top of the ankle, which is another new point. It's awesome. The right one on mine kind of falls out. This whole assembly is kind of falling apart a little bit easily, but yeah, just go easy on them, I guess. Then for the feet, we do have a hinge, which gives us to a really nice point, really nice forward, and some really, really nice rocker. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with the other brothers so far, with some other Turtles lines, with some domestics, with some imports, with some monsters. Finally, with yours truly in human form in both 1/18th and 1/12 scale. So my final thoughts on the Samurai Force Summer figure from Rage/Rave Toys is that this figure absolutely rules, the best in the line so far, with the exception of those really kind of fallen aparty legs. Like the articulation here is absolutely a step up. The aesthetics are great. This one, more than the other two, definitely feels like they kind of took the Ninja Turtles inspiration more as a what if, as opposed to a just like kind of step around for copyright, and that goes a long way, because I think like all the extra accessories here just really drive home that like kind of an original concept that has a very deep homage to TMNT, as opposed to being, again, that kind of sidestep. So yeah, I cannot recommend this one enough. It is actually, I don't even know if it's available anywhere. This might not be available. This was on 5K Toys here in the US. Probably other sources as well, assuming like AliExpress, etc. But yeah, I don't know if this one is. So really, I wish you the best of luck on the secondary market or just wherever you can find this one. It's definitely worth picking up and hunting down, and I kind of hope they do reissues once all 4 brothers are out. And we still have yet to see what Raphael or what are we missing here? We're missing Winter. So Winter looks like. So yeah, that'll be exciting. But yeah, absolutely recommend this. So I wish you the best of luck. That being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining. If that's the case, I hope to see you back here because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So if any of that appeals to you, come on back. Let's talk about some really cool plastic and just escape the world for a while. But really, at the end of the day, end of the world, who knows at this point. At the end of the day, I just hope you're well. I hope that all of your toy dreams come true. And most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.